Hello, welcome to episode 2 of Sanford and Sons Junkyard News. It's Wednesday, September 22nd, 2021, and Joe Biden is still the worst president in United States history. Today we're looking at a little bit of an important and serious issue, crime. If you follow me on Facebook, I got a little thing on this. It's a little aggravating, so... we got more people shot, more kids shot in the streets, in their homes, getting their hair cut, waiting for a bus, whatever they're doing. The total amount of kids shot in Chicago is equal to the same amount of deaths nationwide from COVID. But all the politicians want you to hear about is COVID. It's pretty disgraceful. Why is this happening? Well, it is social justice reform. It's been cried about since the late 90s. They don't want to pack the prisons. There's too many people in the prisons. People deserve second, third, fourth, fifth, 10th chances. It's getting kind of ridiculous. So that brings me to a nice little theme I'm going to start up here right now. We're going to give out the first ever, and to a worthy recipient, the first ever Big Dummy Award. Miss Kim Fox. She's Cook County State's attorney. I don't know how she won the last election. Mark Coran was definitely a better choice. He was my vote. I think a lot of people voted for him. He's another reason why I think the election should be audited here, because he had a ton of support. She had none. She is a social justice reform leader. She's in charge. Do we want to check this out? Like I said, I go out and I verify. I fact check everything. I look things up. I see what they're saying. I see what they're doing. I go to Cook County State's Attorney's website, and what do we have? Cook County State's Attorney is their first one, Law Enforcement Accountability Division. What is that? That's to call and hold police accountable for police interactions. Okay, and bad cops need to be held accountable. There's very few bad cops, but the ones that are out there, they need to be held accountable. Absolutely. What's the problem? Every time there's a crime committed, you have Lori Lightfoot saying, call COPA. Call COPA. Well, COPA is not the police. You are spreading mistrust in the police. You are spreading mistrust in the community towards the police. You're not going to get help from the community by telling the community to not call the community. They're policing. Here's the next one, cannabis conviction relief. And, case data update. That's another one. She did an update for case data, and you look into it, and every time I've tried to look into it, it takes you back to cases from like 2014 and 2010, 2011. She's been in office for 3 years. It takes forever to try and get to cases from the last 3 years. But no, her lead thing is let's hold the police accountable. Call her office if you have information on police activity that might be out of the normal. Oh, the next one is COVID reopening. Fine. What does this do? Well, between Lightfoot and this push to call them with problems with the police, but no mention of calling the police if you have a problem or information pertaining to a crime. There's no work towards the community to say, hey, I have information, let's put some bad people in jail. No, they want to talk about reform. You look at the rest of her page, it looks at community outreach, COVID-19, community justice program, and then it goes into the whole racism thing. She's the first African-American woman. Who cares? She's doing a terrible job. I don't care what race, color, or whatever you came from. If you are not doing a good job, you don't deserve the job. Plain and simple. So I thought that was weird. So I went to a couple other state's attorneys' websites to see what they offered. And let's see, we got Lake County. Let's pull that up. And Lake County is right by Cook County. It's not too far from Chicago. Quick look here. You can go to their page, check it out. They stress on people prosecuting criminals, doing their job, keeping the citizens safe. They say every prosecution is smart, fair, and just. Every prosecution should be. You should have enough evidence. If police are bringing you evidence of a crime, you should have enough crime to take that person to court and put them away. Let's see, what was another one that I looked up? I looked up another one here. Just for fun, I looked up one in Florida, Orlando. Orange County, Orange and Osceola County. Her first landing is conviction integrity unit is overturned its first conviction. So, okay, if there was actually a wrongful conviction, I get it. But you follow that down, goes right into a nice little explanation, and it says they're committed to making Orlando and the surrounding area a vibrant and safe place to live, work, and play. It's a good idea. People like safe places to live, work, and play. I went to a few different state's attorney's office. Most of them said, if you have information pertaining to a case, call the police, call us. We can follow up with detectives, things like that. Nothing on Kim Foxx's website about that. So she wants to focus on the police. So, speaking of the police, we had an unfortunate loss last few weeks back. Officer Ella French. Another, Kim Foxx Award. She was murdered. She was gunned down. Her officer was gunned down. He's still recovering. Presumably because of all the videotape and witnesses. She was shot by the presumed shooter, Imanti Morgan, and his brother there was he was there too, Eric. Both convicted felons. One from some liberal town in Wisconsin that he got transferred and was able to leave and come to Illinois. The other one from around here. Unfortunately, due to the sacrifice of Officer French, These two are actually still in jail because of the publicity surrounding the case. I don't think if there was this much publicity, they would be out of jail right now. But we'll see. Here's a comparison. I got a buddy of mine. We'll call him Kevin. Might sound a little dangerous to be his buddy when I'm done with this, but there's surrounding circumstances. So let's just say he's never committed any crimes. He's never done anything violent act towards anybody. He never carjacked anybody, never robbed a store or anything like that. No violent crime in his history. But a few months ago, he was involved in an unfortunate accident. Here's the basics. They were out one night, had an accident. There was a gun involved. His best friend since childhood was the receiver of the bullet, and she's fine. She's alive. She's back to work today. She's mad, understandably. But she's recovering. She's fine. She's going to have scars. She's okay. The state's attorney's office has charged Kevin with about 15 different charges, and they haven't even finished discovery yet. If anybody knows about court cases, discovery is important. But they are trying to make him plead guilty to one of two charges, both carrying any penalties from 4 to 15 years. They obviously want him to serve 15 years. That's what they're asking for, still without any discovery. Now, even he understands that he did something wrong. It was a big mistake. Somebody got hurt. She could have died, understandably. We were all really mad at him for a very long time. This is months and months ago that happened, but there's still a little anger from a lot of people towards him, and, I guess rightfully so. But this all happened at a time when our whole area was under siege from riots because a criminal died while he was being arrested. We can go into that later if you want. There's views back and forth all over the place about that, but let's just understand the facts, basic facts of it right now. Riots ensued after that. Billions of dollars worth of damage done. This person knew he wasn't supposed to carry a gun because, unfortunately, Kevin, this is not the first friend that he accidentally shot. I do feel bad for him, but the huge difference between this is both of those people would go to court tomorrow for Kevin and vouch for him, tell the judge that he, it was an accident. We don't want him to go to jail. He's, we're punishing him enough as we're still being his friends. We love him. We know it was an accident, things like that. So, but the state's attorney wants him to serve 15 years. So I looked up the riots. 1,500 people arrested during this time. Let's see. You can look them up. I actually searched for the Chicago. Here we go. Chicago riot arrests. That's all I searched for. There was an article. The first one was Chicago police arrest more than 3,000 people for civil unrest and looting in the last 9 days. That was published July 8th, 2020. July 3rd, 2020. 1,500 arrested in Chicago, most not facing serious charges. So July 3rd, June 3rd to June 8th. There was an extra 1,500 people arrested. And if you go and read about it, that's how many people were arrested. That's how many people were charged. You know how many people ended up charged. I'm going to make this a little bit shorter, but about 300 face charges, and the number is, where did it go? Maybe about 24 might still be in jail, or might have actually faced some type of jail time. People shot at, police shot at, there might be 27 people. All the looting, the fires, all of it. Kim Foxx just lets them go. No charges. Social justice. So it was a crazy time. He was walking around with protection he thought he needed. Normally, the year before that, wouldn't even think about walking out with it. I don't even think he had it then. Most people didn't. All these riots broke out, and it wasn't because one criminal died while he was getting arrested. It was because of everything that happened afterwards with burning Targets and burning AutoZone and everything else. He was honestly, because I was talking to him at the time, he took it with him for protection, and it was an unfortunate accident. I don't know exactly what happened. I'm not going to try and dissolve it here. I'm just saying, we know it was an accident. The people involved know it was an accident. She wants to put him away for 15 years while these kids are going out shooting cops. Not to mention that, Kevin's in his mid to late 40s, never been arrested for a violent crime. Never committed a violent crime act to be arrested for. He was involved in an accident. And this is what the state's attorney's doing. But on the good note, Joe Biden still has at least 60 people still in jail, in political prison, solitary confinement in Washington, D.C. for January 6th. Everybody keeps calling it insurrection, but I have not seen one single person charged with insurrection yet. Not one. FBI admitted there's probably not going to be anybody charged with insurrection. But they did feel the need to come and arrest 2 people in Chicago today, something like that, for being there. Liberals want to take that as a win because they want to go across country and arrest somebody for trespassing. But if somebody trespasses into our house, we're supposed to give them our stuff and hope they don't want to kill us without defending ourselves. A little more hypocrisy. So yeah. Big dummy. That's her, Kim Foxx. What can we do? Let's take the junk out of news. You can work with the police. If you know somebody that's been involved in a crime, don't deal with it anymore. If you're in the hood and you got to speak up to save your nephew, your niece, the kids, somebody that's ended up getting shot while they're sitting there getting their hair done, say something. The police are not your enemy. These politicians that are letting more criminals back on the streets are your enemy. These cops, they're such a big target. How we want to believe that they're going to turn in bad cops if they know bad cops, but do they want a bigger target on their back? If you think about the logic of it, I almost get it if there's good cops that don't want to turn in bad cops right now, but got to be the bigger guy. Follow up. Make sure there's accountability. If you're following a case, make sure they're going to jail. If they deserve jail time, if they've done a violent crime, if they were out to commit harm and do harm, then they need to go to jail. The next step is to vote. This woman got voted in. Nobody wants to pay attention to politics. I know, I get it. It's tedious. It's bullshit. You hear lies from everybody. It's tiring. Nobody wants to do it. But we have to. Otherwise, we're going to keep going down this route. That's almost a wrap for episode 2. I'm not sure who gets the Big Dummy number 2 award yet. There's a lot of top contenders. We'll get there. Contenders. Biden, well, yeah, he's a good one. Worst president in history. Harris, yeah, but she's hiding out too much. That video on her would probably only last about 2 minutes, 3. Lightfoot, she's a ranker. We got Pritzker, Jen Psaki, the mouthpiece for the president. I'd like to actually know who's controlling the president. One senator asked finally. It was great. He went off. I'll look that up. I'll find a video for that. Nancy Pelosi, who was strutting around last week. Let's see. Who we got? Durbin. Durbin's a good contender. He's been in office way too long. Duckworth's just interesting. I don't know if she's in the top 5 or not yet, but we'll have some fun with her later. So anyway, about an update about the challenge I was putting out there. I'm asking for help because I actually have been asking for people to do this. I want them to come do a Facebook Messenger or something. We'll record it. Sit down, debate me. Tell me how I'm wrong. See if you can prove me wrong. I've tried. I've asked. A few of these screenshots. They don't want to do it. Every time I ask, they walk away. I had one guy yesterday said, he was almost interested, and then he backed off. And I want to stick to the facts. I got to stick to the facts because facts matter. So thanks for watching. I know I usually end up with a little bit of Trump, but I guess we'll pay some homage to Biden at the end here. We'll give a little bit of homage to Mr. Biden. I don't own this video. I didn't make this. I don't know whose it is. It was sent to me on Messenger. Thank you. But it is probably the funniest thing I've seen. Let's go in 3 days. Thanks a lot. And if you ever see Kim Fox, congratulate her on the award.
Look at this. Somebody come look at this. Look at this. Somebody come and look at this.
Vital part of preparing for hurricane season is to get vaccinated now.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Wearing a mask from now until April will save as many as 50,000 lives.
You liar!
1, 2, 2.
Are you stupid or something?
Oh, shit.
Oh no. Oh no.
January 20, and we're talking now about 15 months ago.
You can't even read.
More than 100 years. Look, here's the lives. When you think about it.
Who the fuck is this asshole?
My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate.
Gentlemen, which brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
He has made clear that all men and women created by you know the thing.
Hey, Old Man River, zip it or I'll break your hip.
Well, look, the only pandemic we have is among the unvaccinated.
Bullshit!
Or the neighbor, or when you go to church, or when you're No,
You do. You want. You could do so. You do. You could.
Go get vaccinated, America.
Shut up!
We've made vaccinations free, safe, and convenient.
You full of shit. You understand that? You full of shit.
You're going the wrong way!
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by the... For President Trump and the demagogues around the world, but if Donald Trump is reelected...
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
I'm Jill Biden's husband, and I work for Cedric Richmond.
You on drugs?
The kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down.
Hell no! No!
I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
Sick! Freak!